Here's your host of the NBC Academic Challenge, NBC5 News meteorologist Jeff Eaton.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to NBC5's Academic Challenge. The two teams fighting it out for tonight, we have Grants Pass versus North Valley. Now, before we go through the rules of the show, let's introduce the stars of the show. We start with Grants Pass and a senior, Stephen Nemeth. Next to Stephen, a senior, Aaron Leibowitz. Next to Aaron, a senior, Rochelle DeBoat. And next to Rochelle, a senior, Brian Satterwade. And the coach for Grants Pass, Tommy Blanchard. And now for North Valley, we begin with a senior, Daphne Lyda. Next to Daphne, a senior, Andrew Schoenborn. Next to Andrew, a senior, Kenzie Schmoll. And next to Kenzie, a senior, Anna Patch. And the coach for North Valley, Greg Patch. So here's how we play the game. I'll ask questions to both teams worth 10 points if answered correctly. 5 seconds to respond after I finish reading the question. Although there are math questions where 15 seconds will be allowed, I will announce those, of course, in advance. And keep in mind the judge's decision is final even if the outcome of the game is affected. Let's begin. Both teams, this is a science question. This constellation's alpha star is the brightest in the Hyades cluster. Name this constellation that depicts a bull. Aaron.
Tauros.
Say that again.
Tauros.
We'll accept it. Taurus is correct. Toss a question, both teams, literature. In this work, Phaedalus, 3 prophecies come true, including the main character's death by hemp rope. Name this novel featuring Captain Ahab. Aaron.
Moby Dick.
Moby Dick is correct. Next question is a geography question. This state's ski resort of Lake Placid was the site of the 1980 Winter Olympics, and its highest point, Mount Marcy, are both located in the Adirondack Mountains. Aaron?
New York.
New York is correct. This is a 5-second math question. It's a definition. 5 seconds to answer this math question. This shape names a law for adding vectors. In a namesake illusion, diagonals of 2 of these figures appear to be different lengths, though they're not. Name this shape drawn from 2 intersecting sets of parallel lines. Andrew.
Parallelogram.
That is correct. Next, toss up a history question. The treaties of Velasco were signed following this leader's capture after the Battle of San Jacinto, and he was responsible for the deaths of Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett. Name this self-styled Napoleon of the West, a Mexican general infamous for his attempt to seize the Alamo. Andrew.
Fernandez.
Incorrect. I'll repeat the entire question for Grants Pass. The treaties of Velasco were signed following this leader's capture after the Battle of San Jacinto, and he was responsible for the deaths of Jim Bowie and Davy Crockett. Named this self-styled Napoleon of the West, a Mexican general infamous for his attempt to seize the Alamo. Santa Anna. Toss-up question now, both teams. This is a mythology question. When this figure was born, his mother, Thetis, dipped him in the river Styx in an attempt... Daphne?
Achilles.
Achilles is correct. Toss up, both teams, geography. In this body of water are the Emperor Seamounts and the Chinook Trough. What ocean that contains Tonga, Fiji, and Guam? Next question is a government question. The passage of the 23rd Amendment granted this area the same number of votes in the Electoral College as at least Stephen.
District of Columbia.
That's what we're looking for. Next toss-up is a literature question. This book features Akela the wolf and Baloo the bear. Anna.
The Jungle Book.
Jungle Book is correct. Next question is a science question. Name this moon that, along with Deimos, orbits Mars. Andrew.
Titus.
Incorrect. I'll repeat the entire question for Grants Pass. Name this moon that, along with Deimos, orbits Mars. Phobos is the name. Oh boy, now it's a math question of the 15-second variety. 15 seconds to answer this question. Here we go. Give me the total of 12.5 times 24. Kenzie.
300.
300 is correct. Next question is a history question. He was assassinated on April 4th, 1968 by James Earl Ray. Name this activist who won the 1964 Nobel Peace Prize shortly after his speech. Andrew.
Martin Luther King Jr.
That is correct. Next question is a science question. Cushion plants are often found in the alpine form of this biome, which is also home to marmots, pikas, and chinchillas. Beginning with the letter T, name this biome that lacks tree growth. Can be found, Anna.
Tundra.
Tundra is correct. Next question is a geography question. Its cities include Safi and Marrakech, and this country is home to the western terminus of the Atlas Mountains. Name this country that includes the city of Casablanca. Stephen.
Morocco.
Morocco's correct. Next question is a science question. This second most common mineral in the Earth's crust is one of 9 different minerals composed of silicon dioxide. What mineral is this? Stephen.
Nickel.
Incorrect. To repeat the entire question for North Valley, the second most common mineral in the Earth's crust is one of 9 different minerals composed of silicon dioxide. What mineral is this? Andrew.
Iron.
It's quartz. Toss-up question now. Both teams, current events. On February 12th, 2013, what country's media announced it had conducted an underground nuclear test? It's third in, Andrew?
North Korea.
North Korea is correct. Next question is an arts question. Name the Spanish artist of the work Guernica. Stephen.
Pablo Picasso.
That is correct. Next question is a geography question. In November 2010, this country received an 85 billion euro bailout from the EU. Name the... Stephen.
Greece.
Incorrect. I'll repeat the entire question for North Valley. In November 2010, this country received an 85 billion euro bailout from the EU. Name this nation that controls 5/6 of an island, the northern 6th of which is part of the United Kingdom. Too late? Yeah, we're talking about Ireland. Toss-up question, both teams. This is a history question. I need the first and last name of this person who won the Nobel Peace Prize for leading negotiations for the Treaty of Portsmouth, which ended the Stephen.
Theodore Roosevelt.
That is correct. Our next toss-up question is a geography question. The Delaware River forms this state's western border with Pennsylvania. What mid-Atlantic state has its capital at Trenton? Stephen.
New Jersey.
New Jersey is correct. Our next question is a science question. This constellation contains the Trapezium cluster and is the site of a late October meteor shower. One of its stars, formerly known as the Amazon star, is Bellatrix, and its brightest stars are Betelgeuse and Rigel. Aaron.
Orion.
Orion is correct. Next toss-up question, geography question. Parts of this continent are named for 19th century sailors, including Palmer Land and Wilkes Land. Vostok is a Russian station on this continent, parts of which are claimed by Norway. Stephen?
Antarctica.
Antarctica is correct. Next question is a literature question. This author wrote about a country at war with Blefuscu. He also created a flying island, Laputa. Stephen.
Gulliver's Travels.
Incorrect. I'll repeat the entire question for North Valley. This author wrote about a country at war with Blefuscu. He also created a flying island, Laputa. That's Jonathan Swift is what we were looking for. Had the right track, though. Toss-up question, both teams. This is a music question. This composer, known as the March King, a former U.S. Marine, is best known for writing marches like the Liberty Bell and the Stars and Stripes Forever. Who is Rochelle?
Sousa.
Sousa is correct. It's the end of round one. We'll come back with round two right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Good game going here. We have at the end of the first round the score, Grants Pass 120 and North Valley with 70. But now we begin round two, played a little bit differently. And one of the things that are the same, well, all questions still worth 10 points if answered correctly. 5 seconds to respond after I finish reading the question. We still have math questions where 15 seconds will be allowed. But this time when a team answers a toss-up question correctly, they receive a 10-point bonus question just for them. We begin with a toss-up question, both teams. This is an English question. A word whose letters can be rearranged to form an entirely different word. Anna.
Anagram?
Anagram is correct. This is a bonus question just for North Valley. History question. What was the 11th century Spanish military leader Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar, better known as? Captain, need an answer.
King Philip?
El Cid, or I like to call him El Cid. Toss-up question now, both teams. Anatomy. We need the specific area for the answer to this question. The lateral meniscus and the medial meniscus are parts of what? Kenzie.
The knee?
The knee is correct. Bonus question just for North Valley. This is a geography question. In what state would you find literature? What book has a first sentence that reads the following? It was a feature... Stephen? I'll repeat the entire question for North Valley. What book has a first sentence that reads the following? It was a feature peculiar to the colonial wars of North America that the toils and dangers of the wilderness were to be encountered before the adverse hosts could meet. It's from The Last of the Mohicans. Toss-up question now, both teams. History. This man became leader of the Soviet Union in 1985. His reforms...
Gorbachev?
Brian?
Gorbachev?
Yes, Gorbachev is correct. Bonus question just for Grants Pass. This is in measurements. The basic unit of measurement for mass in the metric system is called what?
Grams?
Grams is correct. Oh boy, a math question. 15 seconds to answer this. Listen carefully. Here we go. Mike and Joe went to a Packers game. The Packers quarterback completed 22 passes for 396 yards. What was the average yardage gained per completion? Out of time, 18 yards per completion is the correct answer. Toss up now, back to both teams. Odds and ends. In what U.S. state would you find Marquette University? Anna?
Alabama.
Incorrect. I'll repeat the entire question for Grants Pass. In what U.S. state would you find Toss-up question now, both teams. History. This person is an American businessman from Texas, best known for seeking the office of President of the United States in 1992. And, Stephen?
Ross Perot.
Ross Perot is correct. Bonus question just for Grants Pass. This is a history question. What U.S. president appointed Sandra Day O'Connor to the U.S. Supreme Court? Give you another hint. He was born in Tampico, Illinois on February 6th, 1911. Captain.
Reagan.
Reagan is correct. Next toss-up, both teams now. Science. The amount of energy foods can produce is measured in units called, Daphne?
Calorie.
Calories is correct. Bonus question, this just for North Valley. Geography. In July 1998, a tsunami killed about 2,000 people on an island that lies across the Torres Strait from Australia. Name the world's second largest island. Captain.
Sri Lanka.
New Guinea is what we're looking for. All right, back to the toss-ups. Both teams, geography. In what sea would you find the Great Barrier Reef? Stephen.
The Pacific.
Incorrect. I'll beat the entire question for North Valley. In what sea would you find the Great Barrier Reef? So the Coral Sea. Toss-up. Both teams, history. In what year did Thomas Jefferson purchase nearly 800,000 square miles? Stephen?
1803.
1803 is correct. Bonus question just for Grants Pass. This is a history question. He was White House counsel to U.S. President Richard Nixon. As White House counsel, he became deeply involved in the Watergate scandal cover-up and became a star witness of the Watergate prosecution. Who was this?
Can I say it? Oh, Henry Kissinger.
John Dean is his name. Toss-up question now. Both teams, geography. Both teams. The city of Toronto, Canada sits on what Great Lake? Brian.
Lake Erie.
Incorrect. I'll repeat the entire question for North Valley. The city of Toronto, Canada sits on what Great Lake? Andrew.
Ontario.
Ontario's correct. Bonus question just for North Valley. It's a geography question. This American state includes the cities and towns of Covington, Florence, Henderson. Its governor is Steve Beshear. What state is this?
Kentucky.
Kentucky's correct. Toss-up, both teams, science. Carl Mosander discovered this element in 1839. Its name comes from the Greek meaning to lie hidden. Atomic number 57. What element is this? Andrew.
Tholium.
Incorrect. I'll repeat the entire question for Grants Pass. Carl Mosander discovered this element in 1839. Its name comes from the Greek meaning to lie hidden. Atomic number is 57. What element is this? Brian.
Cobalt.
It's lanthanum. Toss-up question, both teams, geography. Bordering Nicaragua, El Salvador, and Guatemala, this country is one of the world's leading banana producers. What? Brian?
Belize.
Incorrect. I'll repeat the entire question for North Valley. Bordering Nicaragua, El Salvador, and Guatemala, this country is one of the world's leading banana producers. What country is this? Daphne.
Ecuador.
It's Honduras. Toss-up, both teams, government. This U.S. state has as its governor Neil Abercrombie, has as its U.S. senators Brian Schatz and Sean Satui. What state is this? Anna?
Missouri.
Incorrect. I'll repeat the entire question for Grants Pass. This U.S. state has as its governor Neil Abercrombie and has as its U.S. senators Brian Schatz and Sean Satui. What state is this? It's Hawaii. Toss up, both teams. This is a science question. In physics, this is a process where a large atomic nucleus, such as uranium, is split into two smaller particles. The act of, Rochelle?
The half-life.
Incorrect. I'll repeat the entire question for North Valley. In physics, this is a process where a large atomic nucleus, such as uranium, is split into two smaller particles. The act of splitting an atom is called what? Kenzie?
Fission.
Fission is correct. Bonus question just for North Valley. This is a history question. He was a Polish politician, human rights activist. He co-founded Solidarity, the Soviet bloc's first independent trade union, won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1983, and served as president of Poland from 1990 to 1995. Who was this? Captain.
We don't have an answer.
Lech Walesa. We'll go about a break and come back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Well, here's the score at the end of the game. It was a good second half, especially, but Grants Pass came out ahead 170, North Valley 130. Guys made a good showing in Class Act. Sorry to see you go, but best wishes to you all in North Valley. Grants Pass, the winner, Brian Satterthwaite. A senior, you got any kind of college plans, sir?
I plan to attend University of Portland.
University of Portland, do you have any kind of major in mind?
Engineering management.
Engineering management, excellent one. Excellent one. Next week, we have Marshfield versus South Medford. Please join us then.